Hey, folks, my guest today is Mort Fortel. He's a serial entrepreneur who started his first business at 18 years old. He has a private equity portfolio that consists of SudShare, two other businesses, and real estate holdings. SudShare is basically Uber for laundry. We're going to jump into it today. Mort, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So how did you get in? Is this just a space that's sort of unsexy, no one's thinking about it, and you said there's an opportunity here?
Sort of. It started in 2017 with one comment my wife made. She was home with five kids buried in laundry, and she's like, "This is crazy. I can tap an app and get to the airport, FaceTime someone on the other side of the world, but I'm still doing laundry like my grandmother." And she was right. Technology's made everything so fast and easy, except for this chore that we hate the most and that takes the longest, laundry. It's actually shocking. There's been no innovation in this space since the washer and dryer almost a century ago. So my son was in the laundry room at the time, and he's a typical teenager. He was 16 years old. He's like, "Look, I'm not helping you with the laundry, Mom, but I can solve this problem for you. I'll build you an app." So we thought he was kidding, but we homeschooled our kids and we taught them you could do anything, and he believed us. And so he looked at what Uber was doing and he went and built this business. And it launched in Baltimore in 2018. And we haven't looked back. It's been growing like crazy ever since. And I've been helping him, with the business.
So what is growth? How do you measure growth here? Is it pounds of laundry clean per week or what?
Well, we've been growing at about 10 to 30% a month, every single month for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm asking is, how do you measure growth? Is it revenue? Is it pounds of laundry done? Is it number of trips to the laundromat? What is it?
We have multiple KPIs that we monitor on a monthly basis. Of course, GMV, which is, fancy terminology, marketplace terminology for revenue. Also new customer acquisition. Those are two key KPIs that we look at.
Interesting. Okay. So are you focused full time on helping your son with SudShare, or are you managing a larger portfolio of companies as well?
When it started a few years ago, it was mostly him because it was mostly, creating the technology, building the apps, all the technology in the background. I can't write a line of code. So he was working all that. But after we launched and as we started to grow and the apps really got traction, so then it really became a business, and we became, we were always partners and co-founders, but I became much more active in the business at that point. Mm-hmm. Now it's to the point where I spend 99% of my time on SudShare.
Fascinating. And how old is your son today?
He was 16 when it started. He's now 21.
How much equity did you were able to get out of him?
We both have a substantial portion of equity.
But did he say, "Dad, I'm keeping more of it. You're taking less than me"?
No. I always had controlling interest.
Okay. So what did you write sort of a check up front to help him sort of have some money to build the thing, or what sort of gave you that ability to command more equity?
Yes, I wrote the check.
He's 15. He's 15, right?
Yeah.
All right. So 21. Is he skipping college, or is he all in on SudShare?
He's no college. He, in fact, even in high school, he was homeschooled through 8th grade. And then in high school, he went to a boarding school, but he only, it's called a yeshiva. It's a place of religious study for Jewish people.
Uh-huh.
And normally the curriculum is that half the day they spend with religious studies and the other half in their secular studies. So for him, he opted out of the secular studies and was working on SudShare.
Interesting.
And then when he graduated high school, he actually never graduated. Coincidentally or interestingly, he's a high school dropout. But he didn't go to college. He's the co-founder and CTO of SudShare and spends full time on it now.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here, and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. That's awesome. So back in April, the last full month, we're recording here on May 10th. How many unique users requested a laundry cleaning in that month?
So I apologize. We don't share that kind of data publicly, but I can tell you that we have over 90,000 Sudsters nationwide.
And what does that mean? Convert your language to our audience language. What does Sudster mean?
Oh, sorry, a Sudster. That's what we call the launderers.
Okay, so that's a heck of a name too, but I just finished watching Ozark. When I hear launderer, I don't think someone that does laundry. I think something else. But these are people that do the laundry in cities around the globe.
Right. So this is it's a peer-to-peer marketplace. So just think Uber for laundry.
No, I understand that. I'm trying to flesh out the marketplace. So there's 90. Are these all in the US or are they global?
All in the US right now.
Okay, all in the US. Any city, if I open the app here in Austin, Texas, I can use it?
Yep. We're in 400 markets nationwide. We're pretty much everywhere except for farmland, Manhattan, and San Francisco.
Interesting. And okay, so that's interesting. So why not Manhattan or San Francisco?
So if you think about the business model, we need our Sudsters to have a car because they pick up and deliver the laundry as well as do it. And then we need for them to be accessible to the customer. So in Manhattan, not even rich people have cars, no less people that are, sort of middle income people that are doing laundry for a living. And same thing with downtown, San Francisco. Pretty much every other city nationwide is accessible for our Sudsters. But that's why we're not in Manhattan and San Francisco.
And are these 90,000 building a living on your platform full time? Do they all get work every month, or are they sort of in and out as demand peaks or falls?
So it's as they wish. We have people that do it full time. Our top Sudster makes about $5,000 a month.
Okay. And what does that convert to? Like, can you make how many loads of laundry is that? I guess.
Well, it's about. They get paid 75 cents per pound. So I guess that's about 7,000 pounds of laundry.
7,000 pounds. I don't even know. What's the average round of laundry measure in pounds?
You mean the average load of laundry?
Yeah. Sorry. Average load of laundry.
Yeah. So typical washer dryer load is about 7 or 8 pounds.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so
and is it?
She's doing it full time. Now, a lot of our Sudsters don't do it full time. A lot of them do it part time.
Yep.
And everything in between. They're really their own boss. They can work whenever they want, take whatever orders they want, let the orders that they don't want pass. If they want to go on vacation, not work a day, they're in control of their own schedule.
Yep. No, I think that's great. How many Sudsters have made at least $1 on the platform? Like, have they all done at least one load?
That's an interesting question. I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry.
Isn't that like a key thing in a marketplace? Uber knows how many drivers did at least one ride per month. Shouldn't you know how many of these 90,000 did at least one load in April?
Well, I know. So you didn't say in April. So I do know how many active Sudsters. Yeah. How many active Sudsters we had last month? About 3,000.
And so I don't know in your space, is that, I don't know if that's 3,000 out of 90,000. Is that a high activation rate or low activation rate? Are you happy with that?
We're happy with it because we're not supply constrained. We have plenty of sudsters. Unlike most marketplaces are supply constrained. So Uber needs more drivers, Airbnb needs more hosts, et cetera. We're more demand constrained than supply constrained. So we're very happy with the situation on our sudster side. We've got plenty of sudsters and they're doing really well and making enough money. And we're trying to really grow the demand side.
So, I mean, we shouldn't skip over that success. How did you manage to go to market and sign up 90,000 sudsters?
So I'll tell you, it's because SudShare solves a second problem, which is fascinating. The first problem is obvious, which is that people hate to do laundry. But we solve a second problem, which is that unskilled workers, people who don't sit behind a desk for a living, people who work at factories, restaurants, Amazon's fulfillment center, they want to work from home too, but they can't. They don't have the skills. But what they do have is an underutilized washer and dryer. And so you combine that with the SudShare app, and voila, you have the first ever manual labor work from home gig in the world. And so at a time when Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, et cetera, they're spending a gazillion dollars trying to recruit workers and they're losing them, we're spending like nothing and they're coming in droves. Thousands and thousands of sudsters are onboarding every single month. And it's because they have this unique opportunity they've never had in their life, which is to work from home.
How do you find them though, right? You still have to find people that have a washer dryer at home. Like, do you sector by average household income? I mean, obviously I'm not going to do laundry at my house because I make money in other ways. So like, you still have to find out how to target them, right?
Yeah, but as soon as you have something like this, people talk. They tell their friends, their family. I mean, we had 13,000 sudsters on board in November, and it's because we had an influencer post about this unique work from home opportunity. And so, when you have something that's really great and unique, especially in an age of social media, people talk about it, they post about it, and it's mostly word of mouth.
Interesting. Okay. Talk to me about the strategy. It sounds like demand side's a little bit trickier here. How do you solve that? And how are you solving it today?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're growing enormously. Like I said, 10 to 30% a month. So it's not like, we're not growing on the demand side. The whole marketplace is growing like crazy, but it's just that the demand side is a little bit slower and we are demand constrained. Right now, it is mostly word of mouth on the demand side is also, and we do quite a bit of Google Ads. That drives the platform. We just closed a $10 million.
Can you quantify that more? Like when you say quite a bit of Google Ads, are we talking like tens of thousands a month or like 1,000 a month or something?
Tens of thousands a month.
Okay, so significant. More than 100,000?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so significant ad spend.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just closed a $10 million seed round, and we're going to be investing a lot of that in a marketing team and in paid media spend. So we're looking to expand to other marketing channels for customer acquisition.
What's the team size today? How many folks full time?
We've got about 25. Most of them are customer service. So if you exclude customer service, there's about 8.
And including your son, how many engineers are there?
Right now, including my son, there are 4.
4. Okay, got it. So yeah, technical problem, but you've got the tech is there. It's now just about building out the additional parts of the marketplace. What's next? I mean, is there a next product in line? Obviously, you have 2 massive groups of people you can sell other things to. 90,000 folks who have a laundry machine at their house, and however many you have that are requesting laundry be done every month.
So there are lots of other possibilities, but we're not really thinking about that now. What we're really focused on now is much deeper penetration of the marketplace into the laundry space. There's so much opportunity there. It's so gigantic.
How big is it? I just have no idea. In the United States alone, how big is it?
There's 125 million households producing 50 pounds of nonstop laundry every single week. If you do the math at $1 per pound, which is what we charge, it's a $300 billion market in the US alone.
I see. So you're taking 50 pounds times 120 million households times $1 per load. Which I mean, that's like that would be like $6 billion per month in revenue if you had 100% market share.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need 100% to have a gigantic. So the point is that this is a huge opportunity just in laundry, But you're right. I mean, down the line, there are other possible line extensions.
Your model is $1 per pound. So that quote you gave me earlier of your biggest subs are doing 5,000 a year. That's like, or sorry, 5,000 a month. You're effectively you're keeping only 25% of that, right, for yourself as revenue.
Right. Well, she gets paid 5,000 a month. So if you do,
so we can multiply times 1 point.
Yeah, so 5,000 divided by 0.75. So she's doing about 6,600 pounds a month.
Yep.
She's getting 5,000, which is 75%, and we're getting 25% of that.
Just to be clear, sorry. Because it's $1 per pound. Yeah, so 6,600 pounds. She's making 5. You're getting 1,600 there. How did you come up with the 25 cents per dollar? Or is that sort of like, we're gonna guess and figure it out later?
No, we actually started with what we wanted to pay the sudsters. So way back when we were starting this, we ourselves started to process laundry, and we figured out how much time it would take to pick up, wash, dry, fold, and deliver laundry. And then we calculated that we wanted the sudsters to earn between $15 and $30 an hour. They don't get paid by the hour, to be clear. They get paid by the pound.
Yep.
But we wanted them to be earning like $15 to $30 an hour. And so we started with that. Like, how much did we want the sudsters to earn? And then we backed into the price for the customer from there.
Yep. Interesting. Now, you mentioned you have 3,000 sort of active sudsters in last month in April, right? Your biggest one is generating $1,600 in revenue for the company. So your max revenue per month would be 1,600 times 3,000 sudsters, or about $4.8 million, which is obviously, again, a great business per month. You're not there yet, obviously, because that's your biggest sudster. But how do you get up to that? How do you break 4.8, 5, $10 million in revenue per month?
It's marketing and deeper market penetration. I mean, it's really,
so it's just more ad spend. Is that it? Just more fuel on the fire.
It's more ad spend and more time. I mean, we're growing organically 10 to 30% a month.
What do you mean organically though? You just said you're spending hundreds of thousands on Facebook and Google ads per month. That's not organic.
Right. So yeah, some of it's from the Google ad spend, and a lot of it's organic.
Yeah, I guess the reason I'm asking this is what I'm trying to decipher here is what the moat is, right? If someone else listens to this podcast, or there's others that do this sort of marketplace, what's your special sauce? Or what would you say your special sauce is?
So I can't point to any one thing, but this opportunity has been there for many years. If you look at the history of the space, there's a lot of carnage. And the reason for that is because operationally, this is not simple. And we had to solve many problems in order for this to work and for this to be scalable as we're scaling it.
Yep.
And so I would say that the real moat is, an operational excellence. And also, of course, at this point, we have the first mover advantage. I mean, we're way, way, way ahead of pretty much everybody else in the space, with penetration in every market nationwide. So it would be pretty difficult for somebody. It would take them years to catch up.
I mean, there are a bunch of these for Loopy Laundry, Spot POS. I mean, I'm just reading ad results when I search laundry cleaning app, right? Hamper app. I mean, why do you see a first mover advantage? I mean, we've done interviews with folks that have launched something like this before 2018. It's really who can market best and who can uniquely get both sides of the marketplace filled out.
Yeah. So if you look into Loopy and Dree and Hamper and these other companies, they're nowhere. I mean, they're incredible. They've been doing this for years, like we have, and they're in a handful of markets.
Would you ever look at keep raising additional capital, keep driving revenue, do a roll-up strategy of these folks to accelerate your own growth?
Not of interest right now. I don't think they really have much to offer. They're very, very, very small. They're very small and have very, very little traction.
What do you think Hamper App does in terms of revenue?
I don't know.
You're a PE guy, so I'm sure you've run all the math on this.
I don't know. I mean, it's a private company. There's no way for me to know. I know that they're in like 8 markets or something, and their penetration in those markets is very minimal. So
what about What about like Rinse, right? I mean, obviously they're sort of number one in the app store for these sorts of search terms.
Yeah, so that's a different business model. Rinse is in about 17 markets, and they're a substantial company, but they're bogged down in the dry cleaning business, and they also have a very capex intensive business model, which is limit. I mean, they raised like 25 million dollars a decade ago, and they're still only in like 17 markets. And again, I think it's for two reasons. One, it's very capex intensive. It'll be, nearly impossible for them to really scale nationally like we have.
Just educate me more. I don't know what makes that capital intensive.
They have their own. They have their own plants.
Ah, wow. Okay, got it.
It's not a peer-to-peer. It's not a peer-to-peer marketplace model.
Yep, interesting. Okay, very interesting.
And the bigger thing is they're also bogged down in the dry cleaning business, which is a completely different business. The company that wins this space is the company that's going to focus and be great at laundry. It's a totally different business.
Interesting. Now, did you guys raise a pre-seed round as well, or is 10 million the first external capital in?
First external capital.
First external. Okay, got it. So 10 million raised here, 25 folks on the team, 4 engineers. Where's most of that money going to get spent outside of paid ads?
Building the marketing and tech team.
Okay, so you hire more engineers. I mean, marketing obviously would be more ad spend, but tech team, more engineers?
The tech team is more engineers, but marketing is not just more ad spend. It's really building the marketing team.
Okay, so what might that role look like? Are you going to have people with like a quota in terms of onboarding new sudsters, or is this someone managing paid ad spend? What do those roles look like?
Yeah, head of performance marketing, director of retention marketing, VP of marketing.
Yep, very cool. And then how do you how do you measure marketplace churn, right? So me, a homeowner, requests someone a sudster does my laundry in April, then I don't do it in May, right? Do you look at that as churn, or how do you measure activation?
Yeah, we definitely do track attrition, and we track attrition. When you say how, it's just using our data.
Well, okay, I understand that, but what would you consider a good attrition rate or market standard?
5%.
Okay. So if 1,000 homeowners require a suds to do their laundry last month, and that decreases to whatever 950 this month, you're okay with that amount of attrition?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much most SaaS companies, no matter what you do, a 5% churn is pretty sort of a natural churn. It's considered a strong churn rate.
Well, in the SaaS space, 5% churn per month would not be acceptable. You would get killed on your valuation. In the marketplace, that might be different.
Okay.
5% monthly churn in SaaS would mean you're turning over 60% of your user base annually. That's unacceptable. You wouldn't be able to raise any capital. Your growth would stall very, very quickly. Marketplace, though, I don't know marketplace metrics like you do. 5% could be totally fine in the marketplace world.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Do you have expansion opportunities? Or are you capped at 50 pounds per month per household?
Well, we can't do more laundry than people produce. We plan to expand internationally in 2023. So that's an opportunity for growth. We also want to get more into commercial laundry, doing laundry for restaurants, spas, auto repair shops that have, like rags and stuff. So we do a little bit of that business now, and we think there's more opportunity there for that.
Very good. All right, Mort, anything else I should ask about that I skipped over?
No.
All right, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, your favorite book.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
No, I don't have time for following people. I'm not into social media.
And number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building SudShare?
For what SudShare?
For building SudShare, like an online tool you guys use.
We like Slack and we use it a lot.
All right. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
At least 8.
All right. And more situation. We know you have 1 kiddo, but married, single, how many kids?
5 kids.
5. Oh my God. Married with 5 kids. And how old are you?
Including triplets.
Holy mac. That's a surprise, huh?
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right. And how old are you, Mort?
I'm 57.
Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Something I wish what?
Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Oh, the value and importance of relationships.
Guys, he's consistent. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Value of Relationships. I sense a theme. Sudshare.com, launched by his son back when he was 15 in 2018. Son now 20, skipped last part of high school, skipped college. He's now helping run the business as well. 10 million seed round just raised. But more importantly, they're giving access to over, call it 30,000, 90,000 folks that own washers or dryers at their home and ability to make money from home, the ultimate work from home gig. 3,000 of those 90,000 are actively doing laundry last month in April. Their largest, they call them Sudster, did about 6,666 pounds of laundry last month, earning about $5,000 for him or herself. The company keeps about 25% of that as they look to scale with their 3,000 Sudsters on the platform and scaling quickly. Mort, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.